All right, what a panel that was. I hope you got all the tips and tricks on how to secure funding. If you leave this room today and you don't have funding, shame on you. No, I'm only joking. So we have a very great panel up next. I think it's really been the hype of this year. For all of you that went to GITEX this year, AI was the main topic. AI has been on the top of mind for everybody. We are in Web3. Last year, we were the kind of hyped up theme of the year. This year, AI has taken the foreground, so why not include the two innovative technologies into one panel to be able to discuss today a little bit how the integration of both of those within systems can provide a lot of benefit. So without further ado, we can welcome Paula and the rest of the panelists to the stage to talk about AI. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you.
So welcome. Thank you very much. Everybody has their headphones. If not, then hurry up. Oh, well, you cannot hear me if you don't have the iPhone, the phone. So thanks again for being here. I'm super humble of having this amazing set of panelists. I will not go into the details of what they do. Take a picture of them, research them. They're doing amazing things. We have dreamers. They have real use cases, so we will learn a little bit about that. And just so we start very quickly, I'm Paola Valencia. I'm the director of the Home of Blockchain. This is an organization which has the mandate to promote Switzerland as a hub for blockchain technology, though we assist in other technologies like AI and drones, etc., robotics. So if you're interested about the Swiss ecosystem, just get in touch with me. And now, without further ado, just very quickly, I mean, we hear AI is like the new hot topic, even though that is a technology that started in the 1940s. It's quite old. The new technology is actually blockchain. And but with OpenAI, obviously the sentiment, the facility for users, they got closer to what large language models are. And suddenly AI became the new hype, and people see it as the end of civilization or the solution to all our problems, or there's big conversation. Currently, many governments are trying to deal how to regulate this technology. Janet and I, we were in Geneva when there was the big AI for Good, the summit with the United Nations, 90 organizations of the United Nations, plus other companies like SingularityNET. And what is the main problem is that the governments need to know that the data is authentic, where the models come from, have the models been manipulated, and actually blockchain the convergence of these technologies, AI and blockchain, can deliver trust. And I don't need to tell you what are the benefits of blockchain because we all know about them. So, but I mean, just so we know, as everybody loves to hear about ChatGPT, so what are the three main gaps of hosting Gen AI? Anomaly detection, so hallucinations, of course, copyright, illegal, unwanted outputs, data leakage, so for data protection, and the security. Because now we have opened Pandora's box to new types of risks, so data poisoning, model manipulation, theft. So just to mention some, so there are ways to fix this with aligned models, prompt engineering. And something we say is that all the algorithms have moms and dads, but we need to know who was the mom and dad, who was the original algorithm. So blockchain can show us this. And so we have the current state of AI and the current state of blockchain, but together we can get trust, transparency, programmable economy, and more efficiencies and opportunities. And now, I will start with my fabulous panelists. And as we are in Dubai, let's start with our host country,
Thank you.
Dr. Moyad. And basically, you have been doing a lot of research on this area, and I would like to have your feedback on how blockchain and AI are contributing to the advancement of energy and sustainability. If you don't know, in a couple of weeks, there will be the COP28 taking place also in Dubai. and it's a burning issue. That's why I got into blockchain, because of sustainability. So let's hear it well about you.
Thank you, Paula, and we thank also the organizer of this fabulous event. We have a limited time, so and also I thank my colleagues here with me and the panelists. I am in an AI-based university. Our research is mainly focused on AI solution and how we can integrate it with other systems. I believe we heard a lot about the fabulous, features and benefits of using blockchain in different sectors, but I'm happy to ask this question because I haven't seen uh, on the panelists and the speakers today and the application people who talked about the sustainability issue. So first we need to understand, that our world is suffering when it comes to energy in general. So we have limited amount of energy, and in some statistical analysis, they shows that within 75 years from now, we will have a main and a big world issue when it comes to energy. Some of the energy resources will be, over for good. So, and this has incentivized so many, organization and countries to start seek for other source of energy. So one of the most important thing is to understand that we need to incorporate extra source of energy to the existing one. And when we say extra, the only viable solution and sustainable solution is using, renewable energy, wind, sun, and all of that. One particular, research that we are focusing on these days is peer-to-peer energy trading and sharing, where we mainly focus on, empowering prosumer and consumer into the equation of producing energy and contributing energy into the, existing market. Today's market is mainly focused, on retailers and, power grid, the main utility power grid, and those are not enough. And in some countries, they have big issues when it comes to outages, pricing, steady-state market, and sustainability. Now, if we look into the peer-to-peer energy market, where we let the prosumer and the consumer produce their own renewable energy, use it for their own, for their own daily use, and the super plus they share it or they trade it with the main grid or with, their neighbors, this will change the whole equation. And by doing so, we cannot have a successful business model of peer-to-peer energy trading or peer-to-peer energy sharing without the use of smart contract and blockchain and AI. So consumers, they will have to trust each other, and in such dynamic, and unknown market, the only way for them, to engage into this transaction is to use a smart contract to execute the energy trading or the energy, transaction between them. And we have been calling for so many years that we need, an energy coins. We need a coin that is dedicated for energy, where the energy, retailer, producer, and smart grid, they can use it, to execute energy transaction between, prosumer and consumer. And we haven't seen that yet. And I believe there is a huge interest in Europe, in Australia, in world third country like India and Pakistan into, producing more renewable energy, invest it on the smart grid, and try to, to exchange it using energy tokens. Now, by adding this to the equation, the whole eco energy system will change. So people will be able, to be free from the burden of worrying about the energy consumption and the energy production, because they will be able to produce their energy, trade it, share it with others, and get a lot of benefits. COP28 is coming in 3 weeks, and the main theme of COP28 in Dubai is going to be in Expo Dubai, if anyone is interested to attend, is the energy sustainability, or the sustainability in everything, in agriculture, in technology. And the main focus is, the sustainability of the whole world ecosystem, calling for unity, multilateralism, and, action. So I would like to tell more about this, but mainly, the conclusion here that we will not be able to have a sustainable energy system in our world without relying on smart contract, blockchain, and the advancement of the AI to provide us with the predictive market, with the predictive analysis and forecasting for the production and the demand and so on.
Oh, thank you very much. So I mean, there's a need for this. So think about it. Come with solutions. The whole world needs a lot of collaboration because the problems are really big. So Janet, I mean, with you, with SingularityNET, I mean, I can think on super intelligence, robotics, general artificial intelligence, benevolent AI, democratization of knowledge. I mean, so many fabulous things. It's an honor to have you here. And I mean, some people think that the large language models are the key to general artificial intelligence. Honestly, these are just probabilistic parrots. So it depends on the massive amount of data you have given. If I feed a model with music from the 70s, no, let's do it from the 20s and 30s, it will not come and generate hip hop. It's no way. But what is the research going on in SingularityNET? You are using neurosymbolic evolutionary hybrid methods. Can you enlighten us?
Paula, thank you for that beautiful introduction, and it's a real honor to share the stage with such esteemed guests. Thank you to Cardano Foundation for such an amazing event, and thank you all of you for coming to listen. So we're SingularityNET. How many people here know SingularityNET? Nearly all of you. That's great. We want everyone to know SingularityNET because SingularityNET and Cardano have a very, very close working partnership. Today, we're announcing our AGIX ADA token staking on Cardano, which is a huge step forward for our partnership and a huge step forward, Paula, as you talk about our research coming to fruition and delivering benefit through blockchain right across the world. As you talked about, the unity, the sustainability. We're here at SingularityNET to create a brighter future. How are we doing that? Our core research is in the area of artificial general intelligence. Who here knows what AGI is? Brilliant, you're a great crowd. So our AGI methodology is based on neural symbolic techniques, as you mentioned. And our visionary founder, Dr. Ben Goertzel, has been working on these techniques for 3 decades with the greatest team of neural symbolic mathematical technology, artificial intelligence scientists in the world. And some of them are here in our audience today. It's a great privilege to work with such highly esteemed technologists and scientists. Now, ChatGPT is the fastest growing product in the history of humanity. It reached 100 million users within 2 months of launch. However, as Paula so rightly said, it's just a parrot. It's just a statistical methodology. It has no knowledge base. It can't create. It can't domain shift one type of intelligence to another type of intelligence. We have built our AGI technology stack. We have a dynamic metagraph, or distributed atom space. We have our meta-functional programming language, a new functional neuron symbolic programming language developed just for artificial general intelligence. We have our OpenCog research platform, which enables all AIs to work with each other. That will be launching in alpha in Q1 this year. And we have our AI DSL, our AI domain-specific language, very kindly funded by the Cardano community in its early phases, which enables AIs to directly contract with each other without needing a human. So this is our advanced neural symbolic AGI technology stack. It's built, and we're ready to use it. Now, as it happens, the rest of the world are coming to realize that neural symbolic techniques are the next step for large language models. Knowledge graphs are what can cure the hallucination problem. Probabilistic reasoning techniques can enable us to program in regulation and ethics. And blockchain, of course, keeps the data secure. It recognizes people's human right to own their own data and to use their data in these models. And so in our path to AGI, our stated goals is to deliver human-level artificial intelligence, general intelligence, within 3 to 7 years. But in that path, on the way, we're creating, here in the UAE, with a venture called Zarka, smart neural symbolic hybrid large language models, which will overcome the limitations of today's DNNs. I mean, they can be used in low error tolerance use cases like financial services, medical, education, anything with children. So can you imagine when we have smart neural symbolic large language models, which can be programmable, which don't hallucinate? Can you just imagine for a moment the adoption rate we're going to see? On Cardano, on chain, there's this ginormous AI revolution happening at exponential speed. SingularityNET is bringing that exponential speed of AI to Cardano, to blockchain, so that these technologies are used to benefit everybody and reduce inequalities.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Fabulous. Gassan, so you have real applications that you're doing now. So can you tell us a little bit, you're on the financial area. How are you helping entrepreneurs raise funds using AI? And a little bit, what are you doing? So.
Sure, thank you. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, everyone, for coming here and listening to us. And thank you to the Cardano Foundation for inviting us. Yeah, I mean, very interesting, just to connect also on the side, it's very interesting that today we are in an era that things like AI and blockchain, who are supposedly very complex to understand, are becoming more, let's say, mainstream or in a way understandable by the majority. This gives me a lot of hope for our humanity. It shows that we are in a way trying to getting forward somewhere. With that said, so we're doing AI now. So my background, I studied artificial intelligence 15 years ago, been doing it since then, before the craze of ChatGPT and how cool it became. And we've been doing that at Acredius, mainly, again, with the mission of what we are doing is really to help entrepreneurs grow. There are different ways of doing it. The one way we are thinking about doing it, and we are doing it now for some time, is through funding, right? So any entrepreneur, he can have the best idea, the best whatever. He needs money, he needs fuel, he needs people to believe in his idea and businesses to believe in his idea to push it forward. And that's how we use AI, basically. We use it mainly for credit risk assessment. So we speak about funding businesses from a debt perspective and also from an equity perspective. So on the debt perspective, we use it for basically assessing or quantifying the risk of default of a loan in general as a business. This is today done in, let's say, traditional banking with a lot of time, a lot of people interactions, readings and things like that. I mean, the AI today is able to do that in a way faster pace. We do it instantly on our platform. At the same time, on the funding side, a big topic is, for example, valuations of businesses. You're investing in a startup, and I mean, the startup is saying, hey, my value is 10 million, 25, 2. How can you get to that number, basically? Basically, behind it, there's a lot of research, a lot of data collection, and then you get to a level where we agree into something. AI can do that. AI is already doing that, and we're doing that as well. So something like a valuation engine that enables you to have at least, again, this is the part where it can be a little bit, difficult to mention, but does not mean that AI will replace us all and we will be obsolete and so on. Please, that's not what I'm pushing to say here, but it can really boost not only operations. It's true what you mentioned with the example, so it cannot come with new things today. I'm very optimistic with that. I believe it is coming with new things because we human beings, how do we come with new things? We simply kind of gather data, and then out of those triangulations of these different data points, we start to imagine new things, right? So I believe maybe AI today is not at that level. I have the big, let's say, maybe too bold, but I think it is able to do that. But again, what made it possible today is during the last, imagine guys, during the last 10, 15 years, everything that is computational power went through the roof. I mean, soon we will have quantum computing, will be even faster. So it's really, 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 at least I'm very happy to be during this era, to be alive, to have all these innovations happening at the same time. So,
Thank
yeah.
you. Very good. Massimo, you have a deep background in mathematics, you're a quant, and you've been in blockchain involved, you've seen so many things doing research in the actual world and also in the universities. What apply the most, or what is more true? Blockchain needs AI, or AI needs blockchain?
Well, after the pieces of information that we have received from our panelists, we definitely understand that AI is very useful in blockchain. And let's start from gas an example. You know, in blockchain, we have always noticed that we are able to do transaction with no intermediaries. We are actually able to have smart contracts which do not require lawyers. But at times, in such a fast environment, we also need some business logic. You know, and one of the reasons why we have been speaking of many business models, we have not yet seen all of them in blockchain, is because some of them usually require a human in the middle and breaks a little bit the incredible possibility that you have with blockchain of doing things without intermediaries. We have seen examples in which actually AI can bring some business logic, statistical business logic in the end, you know, and allow use cases that were not possible before. On the other hand, I'm thinking, for example, of what Janet mentioned about several different artificial intelligences that work together, you know. In a sense, we are probably not yet ready to trust completely artificial intelligence, or maybe even one day we will trust them a lot, but we will still desire, you know, to decide what they have to do. And in a sense, a blockchain, let's remember that one of the inventors of smart contract wanted to point out that they were neither actually smart nor contracts. They are not contracts in a sense because contracts in the real world do not execute themselves, you know, they are just agreements and they are much more in a sense in blockchain. But they are also not smart in the sense that they do exactly what is in the rules that have been written in the smart contracts. So I would be much more relaxed, you know, to have artificial intelligence that work within the rules of a blockchain, within the boundaries, in a sense, in the relationship among each other that can be decided, you know, in smart contracts. Because any artificial intelligence, even ChatGPT, is already very good at coding, you know. So in a sense, if they live in a digital world, they can change the code. In blockchain, you cannot change the code if you don't have the proper keys, if you don't have the proper rights. You know, there has already been some application of blockchain to swarm robots, you know, working together, but also having immutable rules, you know, or mutable only by those who have the keys. But I'm also thinking, you know, of a situation in which we have an AI managing a portfolio of my assets. I would probably not yet trust the AI to manage my assets completely. I would prefer to have, I don't know, a multi-sig agreement, you know, in which actually the AI can do up to a point, as we do at times with banks, and I have also a key that for doing some things, I need to get in. So I definitely think that blockchain needs AI and AI needs blockchain, 100%.
Very good. We stay with you and then we do go back. So, which other industries you think, besides of the very obvious financial, which other industries can benefit of this link between AI and blockchain?
Well, for example, Moyad has already mentioned energy, and that the use case is mentioning is extremely relevant today. But I think that we can even venture of thinking of very, very sensible sectors, like, for example, medicine. I think it can benefit a lot from a joint business model, you know, from blockchain and artificial intelligence. That's something I'm working on with some entrepreneurs. Because when you come, for example, to the possibility of democratizing medical treatment or even genomic analysis, you have many issues to face. On one end, you actually have people that can actually provide their data for being analyzed, having advice, but it's not always the best solution that you just give your data to a private company to get a service. Through blockchain, you actually can have your data secured. You may have your data encrypted, and when you give some data that can be used for your analysis, but also for research, you can actually only make sure that only the data you really want to give are actually given. You can make sure that you are properly paid for the data you are having. You can even anonymize your data. And then obviously artificial intelligence can already provide a lot of insight, in medicine, even automatically. And of course, the more such businesses can grow, artificial intelligence, as we were saying, is still mostly a statistical activity. So the more data, the better is the treatment you can receive. And up to a point, artificial intelligence can also help on another side. When you provide data and, in some aspects, for example, in behavioral genomics and so on, there is also an issue about the reliability of the data that you are receiving. AI can help analyzing the quality of the data. And in a sense, blockchain can supplement this because it can actually as we have seen in several, for example, prediction markets, blockchain has the possibility to give the correct incentives to those who are providing the data to actually motivate them to provide additional data and help research and help the service that you receive from the artificial intelligence. I was mentioning medicine, but I think that is a business model that can apply to several different sectors and several different, let's say, service supply chains.
Fantastic, very good. Gaston, what does AI brings to the model you're using?
No, AI brings that level of accuracy. Coming back to the Credus model, we are basically some sort of a financial platform, so investors can use Credus to invest in the real economy. But we need them to invest it in a scalable way, right? So because otherwise it will be too expensive. We are trying basically to serve that part of unbankable businesses, not because they're doing bad stuff or whatever, especially in, let's say, relatively developed world. So for example, we are in Zurich, in Switzerland. In Switzerland, the businesses that are based, for example, say a waffle shop, is not able to go to his bank, even though his positive, balance sheet is all good, EBITDA positive, all of that, goes to the bank, asks for a loan for around 50,000 or 100,000 because he needs to buy a new machine, will not go forward because it's too expensive to service for a bank to service such a small amount, right? And that's where technology in general, and so technology makes it possible to access to that world, but AI, with accelerating and improving the accuracy of credit risks, makes it possible for these kind of businesses that are basically the backbone of our economies, like small and medium enterprises. The backbone of our economy is not the unicorns, right? These are the people where you buy your bread, your food, and we need them. We need them in a local perspective, right? So this is again coming back to the mission of Acredius, and going a little bit also on the blockchain side. So why is it interesting, this intersection between AI and blockchain? Is again coming the example: an investor invests in a loan for a business. Generally, it goes 2-3 years. In the meantime, you're kind of stuck with it. You cannot. It's an illiquid asset. Same on the startup side. You invest in a startup, at best you exit after 5-7 years if everything is going well. But in the meantime, you cannot do anything else. I speak about traditional finance. Blockchain and what we're building on the Cardano blockchain is able to bring us to tokenization of real assets. We saw a lot of talks about that. So we'll tokenize those loans and those equity stakes, and then they immediately become available on-chain for trading. It creates this sort of secondary market. So it will make the life of entrepreneurs way easier. It will liquefy the market. It will make it easier also for people to experience this. and again, to participate in the real economy, not to stay only on the, say, the on-chain side or on the traditional finance side, everything that is in between, which is actually the majority of what is running our economy, will be able to benefit from that. So this is the main goal, and this is where I believe AI and blockchain together can really, really push humanity forward.
So you see, even in Switzerland, that we are a first world country, there's people excluded in some way from the economy. So this is a fabulous solution. Janet, everyone, we have heard about OpenAI saying, please regulators, but I will not show you how my model works. So how does that work? And then they create WorldCoin, and then they go to my home country, Mexico, and scan eyes of people without explaining what's going on. How much is a GPU? Can a startup buy a GPU? No, not really. So a very important, I think we don't want our future to be dictated by the 7 big tech companies. For the future, we have to be all included, everyone. So you know, there's a United Nations, a Giga project to bring connectivity to all the schools in the world. So that's one step. And another one, with the rise of artificial intelligence, SingularityNET is working on democratizing AI. Can you tell us about it? Because this is really, really important.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. And I just have to say, this is why I love Cardano. Every one of you incredible men working on fantastic projects using AI, using blockchain to bring benefits to the unbanked, to sustainability. It's so inspiring to be here. Thank you, Cardano. I just love you. Thank you, Paula. So regulation, my perspective, my personal perspective, having worked in actually a lot of SME banking and regulation in banking for my career, my perspective personally is that regulation is essential for artificial intelligence. It will help people to feel safer. It'll stop some of the big, heinous use cases of AI. However, having come from banking, I have a very healthy skepticism about the actual effectiveness of regulation. How do you get a global regulation that everybody agrees on? How do you then monitor it? How do you implement it? How do you enforce it? At SingularityNET, our approach to ensuring that our AI is used in an ethical way, in a way that's positive for all humanity, comes back to blockchain. It comes back to decentralized governance. We're progressively decentralizing our processes, our decision making at SingularityNET. We've just elected, our community have just elected a fabulous new supervisory council. They are the people, our community, our voters are the people who will oversee our use, the SingularityNET ethics and use of artificial intelligence. Cardano community will have a part to play in this. And here's where diversity and inclusion becomes extremely important. I'm very, very passionate about having more women in AI. Amazing to see some of the women executives from SingularityNET here. We need women, we need people from all races, of all ages, of all levels of ability. Inclusion. We need total inclusion, because the people who are these technologies are the most powerful ever invented. They're going to dramatically transform every aspect of our lives as we know it, faster than anybody thinks. So it's an absolute imperative that they serve the greatest cross-section of humanity, that they serve everybody. And so I always encourage everyone to come and get involved in SingularityNET. I'm always passionate. Any CV we get from a suitably qualified woman for a role at SingularityNET always gets interviewed. Please come be part of this movement, because the decentralization movement, which I know Charles Hoskinson is so passionate about, which we're passionate about at SingularityNET, to me is the answer to safe and effective AI.
Thank you very much. So, I hope you took note. So, Moyad, I have spoken at the beginning about the new risks that come with AI, and I know you have done a lot of research also in cybersecurity. And most of the people have forgotten a little bit the Metaverse. It's building still. It's getting improved. And this country, your home country, has been very active on building the infrastructure that is required there, including cybersecurity concerns. Can you talk about the decentralized metaverse?
Thank you, Paula. This is really an important question because metaverse is getting in all of today's technology, whether we like it or not. It's a reality, and it is similar to ChatGPT. We don't see coming, but it's eventually coming. I mean, metaverse, it is basically, as everyone knows, is the virtual environment where it's intersect basically, or decentralized metaverse is the intersection between virtual environment, a blockchain application, and the Web 3.0. And of course, without a reliable networking and communication system, it wouldn't be possible. So we also have to look into 5G technology, 6G technology, or even beyond 5G technology. Metaverse is holding a lot of promises, especially after the launch of, the Apple a new head-mounted, virtual headset, which is about to be launched in January or February. Everyone is looking for it, and this is going to change the whole, whole scale or whole outlook scale of the, how we perceive the information these days, from two-dimensional into 3 or 4-dimensional on a daily basis. So it's a promise that we will not have screens, computer screens anymore. We will have more interactive, virtual environment that we can, do our work on it. Now, Metaverse has a lot of benefits, a lot of promises, but it also comes with a lot of risk and challenges. First, it's a new technology, and it has many associated risks. Most of the cybersecurity, if you want to just let's focus for the sake of the time, the cybersecurity issues in Metaverse are many. The most viable one is first the identity theft, because people on there is not real people, it's virtual people. So there is a lot of speculation about who is this person, how can I verify this person, can I trust this person? Is it the same? I mean, this is Massimo here, but it is the same. If I see Massimo here, he's Massimo. I know for sure. This is Paula. But on the Metaverse, there is a risk that identity theft, content security, privacy and security issues, related issues is a big thing. Also, we have a big concerns as researchers and industrial communities for the virtual asset theft, also the digital asset scams. So there is a long list of concerns when it comes to cybersecurity in such a new and fertile environment like Metaverse. However, I mean, at the same time, the community are aware of these risks, and they are working on potential solutions. Some of the potential solutions that we are calling for in the research community are that we need a new verification mechanism. We need a new security protocol that customized and tailored for Metaverse environment. We need a new encryption and decryption. Hassan, he talked about he talked about the quantum computing, the quantum communication, and this will be a primitive and essential for Metaverse to compute the possibilities and the verification and the identification of the identities on the Metaverse quickly, and render a decision on that platform. So we need to focus more on the verification protocols, the encryption and decryption mechanism, because the traditional encryption and decryption, advanced encryption algorithm, or the normal encryption algorithm, the legacy one, I don't think is going to be cut enough for the Metaverse. It comes with a huge computation capabilities. So at one point, we will hit the wall where our traditional server, our traditional cloud, platforms will not be enough to sustain Metaverse environment at a large and scalable scale. We have 1 minute, and I want to just wrap up with one sentence that, I mean, Janet, she talked about scary things, artificial general intelligence. So we are scared enough from ChatGPT and what's going on in the current market. But artificial general intelligence, where a machine can think like a human and produce a solution, this is something I'm not sure to be scared or happy about it. Hassan talked about the endless possibilities of AI and computation capabilities with quantum computing, quantum communication. Massimo also, he should the whole umbrella on the potential application and the usability of AI in several different sectors like healthcare and so on. And from this stand, I would like just to remind you that eventually we are no longer, a problem solvers. Engineer and computer scientists, they're known for, as a problem solvers in general. This is what we teach our students. These days we become a problem seekers because we have the machine, we have, singularity, and artificial general intelligence will be faster enough and more, efficient to provide faster, viable solution at computation scale. However, now it is our mandate to be a problem seekers. We need to find the problems and let the machine do the job for us. Thank you.
Fantastic. Though we have run out of time. It's lunchtime, but I still, if you want, I would like to hear some last words of everyone. I mean, Massimo, I will not ask for the next 5 years. What do you see as AI priorities between AI and blockchain the next 6 months, which is already a long
the joke
period.
I had, that when you ask two panelists, what is your view about 5 years? Now, if you get just the next 6 months, think of what happened. That's already great. But this time, I'm not even daring to go 6 months beyond. So I leave to Gassan.
French, we say that's hot potato, whatever. No, I'm very positive, very, very optimistic about it. I think we have a lot of tools that could boost us like crazy. So I'm very positive about it. Very, I think where we are and where we can go, because so 6 months will be impossible to predict, but it can go infinite. So I'm really, really happy and glad to see conferences like this happening, interested people in what we're telling. But yeah, the sky is not even a limit anymore.
That's beautifully said. I'd like to really echo what Moyad was saying about problem seeking. Now we have the solutions. We've got to dream a brighter future and build towards it. And what I predict we're going to see in the next, if I could say 12 to 18 months, will be the emergence of knowledge graph-based large language models to cure the hallucination problems. It'll be large language models progressively dominating the internet and getting specialized to different use cases. And then in 12 to 18 months, we will see Zarka, SingularityNET, smart, neural symbolic, large language models on blockchain completely revolutionize everything until AGI comes along.
Yeah. I totally agree. I mean, general intelligence or artificial general intelligence is a big thing. If you mix it with the virtual, dreams that we're seeing these days, the virtual environment, and the top of that we have, the Gen AI and LLMs. So this is really make any researcher or any industrial man wonder, am I going to survive all of this, or is it going to be too late for me? So the answer for all of that, you should be always be a visionary. You should not be just limited to what you are doing today. You should think like at least 6 months. I agree with Massimo of at least 6 months in advance on the landscape and the outlook of what is the market is going to be. But from what I have seen today from all the speakers and yesterday and the day before, that there is a huge, focus on peer-to-peer transaction. We need to push more into this community and into the decentralized financing, DeFi. So the regulator believes of what we are calling for. I mean, we should stay away from centralized entity controlling us. We need more peer-to-peer transaction and accommodation. Thank you.
Fantastic. I mean, I'm a tech for good advocate, and I mean, with Janet, when we were in AI for Good in Geneva, we saw that there are solutions for so many of the problems that we have in the world, but we need collaboration between researchers, between the companies. That is not only profit, but I mean, because if there's no planet, there's no profit. So there's a lot of solutions. Let's collaborate. We're building bridges also between Switzerland and Dubai. And if you have questions, just get in touch with us. And I'm also very positive about the future. Thank you so much
for your beautiful moderation.
Honor to have you.
Thank
you, everyone.
Thank you.
Paola.
Thank you all.
Everyone.
Thank you.